to educate, motivate, and build one another through shared knowledge and success. This is Young and Successful, and these are your hosts, Che Chukwi, Kenny Awashika, and PJ Luminan.
Welcome back to Young and Successful Podcast. Okay, Kitty,
Yes, sir.
you were, you were telling me something interesting there, man. So we had to hit that record button. You were about to pull up Roblox. Was it
Yeah.
Roblox?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Robolux Corporation, RBLX.
RBLX, right? So we're talking about the market, discussing about some of our trades and just currently the volatility and the news and everything that is going on with the market right now. If you've been paying attention, the market looks I don't
Sour.
know. How would you describe the market right now, man?
Nasty. It's bleeding.
It's like they ran a
Slaughterhouse.
chainsaw through this thing, man. It's ridiculous.
They cut the tree down, man. Shit.
Exactly. But I think that this kind of throws us in an interesting place because we can talk about the psychology in the market, right? Followers and leaders, right? Following, leading, and who should you listen to? Okay, personally, I think that it is good to put information out there, right? Everyone has the freedom of speech. Everyone can say anything they want to say. That is cool. But when you take this information, whose information should you follow and why? If someone asks me why should they listen to me,
Well, I'll listen to you because we spend
I
a lot
mean,
of time together thinking about these
yeah, I
things.
think right. I think you have to build a track record, right, over time. And I think that okay, first this is for me. This is what it is. If you're going to listen to someone, it should be someone that, for one, you at least have some things in common with them. You
Yep.
morals, certain things are in alignment. You also listen to people who are doing the same thing you're doing and doing better than you. Never listen to someone who is not doing as good as you. Now, if you jump the
Whoa,
fence on the other side,
Let me take
I'll
you
slow
back.
down. I'll slow down. I'll
Yeah, slow
pause. Go
down
ahead.
now.
Yeah, go
Sometimes
ahead.
wisdom come from not necessarily the smartest.
True.
Is the
True.
is the content
Yes.
of what has
I,
been told and the
exactly.
source that makes it all, the
Yeah, that makes
source.
it come together. That makes
Yeah.
it come together. Now, because here's the thing, I was going to also say, when you jump the fence to the other side, right? There are people who have the credentials to show it, they have the image to show it, they potentially have what could be a track record to show it. No, what is the board guy on MSNBC? His name sounds with Kramer or something like that. Anyway, that
Ah, he called Kramer out. Oh
um,
man.
but you have people like that come on TV every single day for how many years now?
Dude, man, I was listening to that guy when I was in college, maybe even high school.
I wonder
So
if he's ever been right.
no, dude, I've lost a lot of money with him, man. That was one I used to listen to. Well,
That's the thing. Now, I have listened to him. I have listened to some Bloomberg.
Yahoo
Autopsies.
Finance got his madness. Bloomberg, I
God
think,
is madness.
huh? No. Yahoo Finance. Yahoo. You know Yahoo? The
Yeah.
old new search
I think it
engine
was
with the junk mail.
Yahoo.
They got their madness. Bloomberg lately has been basically just shooting out a bunch of fake news. I think folks need to just go on there and just start reporting Bloomberg for fake news.
Hey, hey.
CNBC with your boy Kramer. I don't even know what to do with that
Yeah, I
guy
feel like
anymore.
that's the jungle, man. It feels like whenever I see a video of Kramer, I get that feeling I had when I was in the circus. No shots at Kramer. I'm
You were
just
in the
saying.
circus once.
I don't know who decorated his set, but it looks interesting. I'll say that.
Booyah! Oh man, all my money is gone now.
Yeah. Well,
Gone.
here's the thing. There is definitely a track record of people getting into stocks that Kramer recommends, and then it goes down. It moves in the wrong direction. You would look at someone like Kramer on TV, right? Like, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's one of the suits. He's been doing this for years. He speaks about it with so much conviction. He's flowing. Granted, he's probably reading from somewhere as well. But then you have a whole bunch of people make investments based on his recommendations, right? And then after years, you have people like myself and yourself and many others who come now into the market and they start doing their research and then they start noticing that these guys are playing all of us, man. Roblox was the
Weatherman,
one you were going
weatherman,
to show me. Huh?
weatherman. The weatherman tells us that
The
it's going to
weatherman.
rain today. Actually, we were
Hey,
supposed to have rain today.
listen.
It did not rain a single thing.
So, like for example, you were talking about Roblox. What happened there?
Yeah. So was it last week? Early last week or early in the week?
Right?
He put out this thing, Roblox. I literally watched it. Roblox, it's a great stock to buy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. 10 years ago, when I was a beginning trader, maybe even more than that now,
Yeah,
I would have just gone and buy it because Kramer said to buy it. But now that we
I've done
have the
that.
AI tools that we use and the technical analysis that we do, and I just said, okay, all right, let me go see. And I'm looking at it, RSI, MACD, TTM squeeze, everything just
Yeah,
was incorporated. And I'm like, this stock is going
yeah.
down. And you wouldn't believe it. For the entire week, that thing was just tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, going down.
Listen,
Now,
Kramer
as
will
of
tell
this
you that.
moment, as we speak, it's,
Yeah, I was gonna say Kramer will tell you that they
as
only
of
go based off fundamental analysis, man. So you have to buy it and hold it for 75 years or so. So
yes, but guess what though? The stock market goes up and down, up and down.
true,
But if you
true.
had bought it based on Kramer's prediction or
Recommendation. Yeah.
recommendation at the time, you will not
Mhm.
have bought it at the bottom. I'm not saying you're trying to time the bottom, but you're getting it at the wrong price because it still moved further down and now it's
Right.
just finally coming up. This is now when you should be getting it, not when Kramer said to get it when it was actually still going down for a whole week. So you have a whole week of you basically losing money in your trade in your trade because literally you have to hold on tight with
Yeah.
diamond ends for a long period to become profitable now.
Diamond Hand Squad, man. You can take Diamond Hand advice from Kenny, man. He's definitely. Here's the thing, man. Kramer is the timer for the market. The timer that works in his favor is what I would say. Right. But here's the thing,
Oh,
though.
good one.
Go ahead.
Good one.
No, I was just gonna add to that by just
No,
saying like,
you said it
in this
right.
situation, who do you listen to? Because I used to listen to Bloomberg as well,
Y-
and especially when I
Dude.
first started trading, right? And I was kind of like checking out their stuff, and I'm like, man, it seems like every time these guys are talking about something, it's just not performing that great on the market. What is going on here? And then you also start
Mhm.
to now see that there are these stocks that are always in the news, right? And there's those are always getting trashed. Now the positive side is when
Troublemakers.
it's
Yeah.
up. Yeah, when it's up, it's up. But then you have your
Yep.
traditional stocks, which in a situation like this right now, which is part of our strategy, we're trying to move to those ones that are getting less news and are more
Mhm.
stable. All right. I guess
Mhm.
people call them value. Would it be value stocks or
Recovery
recovery
stocks. Yeah.
stocks?
Yeah. Well, some of these value stocks are now considered recovery stocks because they got crashed and bit
Ooh,
up so bad during COVID.
yeah. Oh, well, true. I mean, most of them have kind of come back though, for the most part. So are they
A
still
lot
really
of them have
recovery
come back. Some
stocks?
of them are in their 52-week high now. Yeah,
Yeah. I
a
think we
lot of
can
them have.
dismiss. I think we can dismiss that word recovery stocks, man. I'm tired of it.
We
Yeah,
can say buying the dip now because of the little dip that we got going. It's not even
buy the
little
dip,
anymore. It's
bro.
getting bigger.
You got some more Tesla today too, didn't you?
Oh man, I got in at 604.
60, 605, 604. Dude,
Yeah.
I
I
wanted
thought freaking 650 was was too low.
was low. Dude, when I bought
604
it,
now. Oh
it
gosh.
actually went lower than the point where I bought it last time it was down. Because when I bought it, I didn't think it was gonna
Oh
go
wow.
lower than that, but it did today. It did today,
Yeah.
and
Neo
we'll see
2
what
went down,
happens.
PLTR went down too.
I
I
got more
listened to it.
PLTR. I was just gonna add that on there.
I did not get more PLTR. I probably should. But I'm
It's
running
still
out of
down.
money though, because I just keep thinking I'm buying the deep and I'm still
Yeah,
getting deeper.
it's still
And I'm just
down,
like,
man.
when is
Wait
this
for it.
bleeding gonna stop?
Wait for it, man. That
Yeah.
W-shaped recovery is coming at some point. But carry on.
Mm, amen to that. But back to your question about what do I listen to?
Yes.
I have to say, before COVID, I used to drive to work. And I figure why waste my time listening to the radio.
Right.
So I listen to Bloomberg and I listen to my audio tapes, my audiobooks in and
Yeah.
out on the metro, in the car. And Bloomberg was just so, they believed so much in the market that the market was not going to crash. Like this old Trump
Mm,
presidency, market was
yeah.
just going nonstop.
Hey, he was a
But
spicy
then
market, man.
I'm listening to my audiobooks and I'm watching these other YouTube channels and
Right.
I'm doing the analysis in my head that something is wrong, right? So I've learned from my lessons from listening to Kramer back in the day, but now
Right.
I still need to get my data, my information from somewhere because this whole fundamental analysis just wasn't kicking it in for me anymore because you do the fundamental analysis and the company stock is still going down or it's just
Right.
parallel.
Right.
So Bloomberg was just screaming out this noise and I was like, nah, let me pull some money out. Something is wrong.
Yeah.
And literally that same month, market goes crashing,
Jeez.
you know?
I think it's a game. It's a massive game between the institutions and the retail investors and whoever else is involved in the market. In my experience, when I don't watch the news, when I don't read the newsletters, right, and I just focus on my technicals and fundamentals, which I mean, we can go further into fundamentals because when I look at fundamentals for something I want to in for a company I would like to invest in, not necessarily short term, but medium term to like longer term, I'm really kind of just looking more. I think for me, it's just first of all seeing that the company has a plan to move forward, and then look at your debt or your liability to asset ratio, right?
PEs and stuff.
And yeah, once you look at that, and you look at some other things, you can determine that the company is either undervalued and has that room for growth, or maybe it's capped out. That call is yours to make at that time. But I found that when I just stick to just the fundamentals and the technical analysis, everything is working out great
Without the news, right?
without the news. Um, yes, sometimes trades might go the wrong way,
Hmm.
but I always later on find out that it went the wrong way because of the news,
News, yeah.
right? So I guess you can plan an exit strategy around that. But when you wake up, right, and you listen to the news, right, you listen to MSNBC. I don't want to keep saying Jim Cramer, man. We'll
Yeah,
call him the
go ahead.
bald eagle from now on. No, we cannot call him the bald eagle. That's a majestic beast, man.
That's not
He
nice.
represents
Oh yeah, that's
we
majestic. It does not
Yeah, that's
deserve
a
that
majestic beast,
title.
man. Dude, why do I keep wanting to roast Kramer, man? I just find what he does very dishonest. When you wake up, right, you read the newspapers, right, whether there are thousands of publications out there, right, and they already feed information to you. They mold your mindset before you get into the market. I just find what he does very dishonest. When you wake up, right, you read the newspapers, right, whether there are thousands of publications out there, right, and they already feed information to you. They mold your mindset before you get into the market.
Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal. I'm sorry if you listen to this, man. Come on, man. Back in the day when
Are
I
you,
used to
you
listen, read that thing, it's like
oh, no
it's a
kidding.
agenda based, man. They're trying to get you in there to get slaughtered.
I've never read a Wall Street Journal. I haven't
Back in the
read it yet.
day when newspaper was the thing, the
Yeah.
business section of the newspaper is what I'm only interested in. The sports, I'm like, I don't, well, I love soccer, but I'm not getting paid to play or watch you guys,
Of
so I'm not
course.
interested.
Of
So
course.
I brief through the regular news. It's all sad news, negative news. Then, okay, what's going on in business? That's what I've always
Right.
been interested in. But then it seems like it's all agenda based. Like there's a specific agenda.
It is. And I think it's only the how they tailor and drive the agenda has only gotten better over time, right?
Oh,
Because you
yeah, and it's even more frequent now. It's like in your face every day.
yeah. Because dude, I get like so many notifications on my phone daily, right? I'm sure you do the same too, just
I shut them off, man.
talking about stocks going one way or another. And I think the craziest thing about it is the clickbait titles that they use, right? You look at, and I've seen some articles that I really feel like it was just all about having that clickbait title, have someone just glance at it and take action on that. You see what I'm saying?
Shay,
So
in the morning,
yeah,
oh, the markets are terrible. In the afternoon, because of
right,
interest rates, In the evening, oh, because of bond markets. What is what's causing it? Oh, market is booming
Right.
tomorrow. We're up to 2%. And I'm like, make up your mind. Like, where is the market going? You guys are like conflicting each other now.
And that's the thing that you always have to ask yourself, why are they doing that? What are they gaining from it? Because it's ultimately there are certain things that everyone agrees to. Like, say for example, like with the whole situation last year, where I think how many $1 billion was it, like $7 billion,
Hmm.
something around there, was lost by people betting against Tesla,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you have to ask yourself, why would these people be betting against the future so hard?
I will tell you why. I was
You
one
know,
of those people. Okay.
you you
I saw
shorted Tesla.
Tesla at $50. I didn't short Tesla. I just did not buy
Oh well,
Tesla.
yeah, but you didn't take, yeah, you didn't buy it, yeah,
Tesla was right there in front of me at $50, then at 70
right.
bucks, at 150. Oh, but guess what? I was listening to Yahoo Finance. I
Oh,
was listening to
I told you,
Bloomberg.
I told you I know someone who bought Tesla at $70.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know,
Imagine that life, man.
you like sitting like, sure, I don't even need to sell. Let me just chill and wait for this thing to go to
Yeah.
3,000. You know. But again,
Yeah,
who should you
absolutely.
listen to? That's the whole purpose of this conversation, right? We are here to help you guys
Yeah.
out. Um, I would say as an investor in the markets, I think sometimes you need to trust your instincts, but also let your discernment tell you or teach you what to listen to. And part of that is maybe surrounding yourself with a community of other investors that get their content from
Right.
multiple locations. So you can now take all this information and make a decision from it and not just have one
Mm.
source. Like never just like people like, oh, I never listen to Fox News. Yo, I don't watch TV, but I don't mind checking out Fox News, CNN, all those guys, maybe once in a while to see what's going on. But I have to say though, Al
Yeah.
Jazeera and sometimes BBC has better content without propaganda than our American TV
Yeah.
stations. So it's about collecting
Listen, man.
information from multiple sources and analyzing it.
Fox News is beautiful, man. You don't love Fox News?
Yo, man,
Fox News is the jam.
the gem in your
Fox
heart.
News. Listen to Bill. Listen to people like Bill. I was gonna say Bill O'Reilly. Is Bill O'Reilly still on TV?
Dude, I hope it's not. Actually, we
Ah,
should actually used to listen to
wow.
him.
That just
So
tells you.
I don't think Biro Lai is
I
even
don't know. I
alive,
don't
if I'm
remember
not
the last
mistaken.
time. Oh, actually, my point is now.
Diluted.
He's old, man. I think back in the '90s when I saw him, he looked medieval. I haven't seen him in many years, man. I have not watched TV in
Dinosaur.
so long,
He
man.
said it looked
So,
miserable.
yeah,
Ah.
hey, man.
There have been some pretty interesting Facebook, YouTube channels that got some serious research
Yes,
going on.
that that's the next thing I was going to talk about. What are your thoughts on that? Because, like you said, there are some channels that have some serious research, and there's some guys that we've seen them talk about something, and the very next day it happens. And then you have the people on there that are pumping stocks, essentially,
Hmm.
right? And then apparently there are people now who get paid by some of these companies to pump
Pump
their
for
stocks.
them.
What are your
Yep.
thoughts on that?
So we were talking about this before we started this recording. It's all the speculation and insider trading and all the stuff that gets going on in the markets. And
Yeah.
again, this conversation, this podcast is about figuring out what to follow. And I'll say, do not be a sheep, right? Don't just follow just one person. Just try to be wise. Be wise as a fox and have access to all these O's, which are the information sources, and this Facebook,
Right.
this YouTube channels. I have to say, one of them literally predicted that we're going to have this crash in February and March, and that we're going to experience this for about 3 or 4 months. And less than 2 or 3 days after his prediction, boom, it happened. And all the technical analysis that he had for why it was going to happen, I thought about it, but I was
Right.
like, my analysis, we should be good. But then we also did the reading last year when we were studying to expect a down market in February,
Right.
but then we didn't listen to that. So
Well, we collected a lot of information last year. I think we compressed a lot of information to our minds. I
yeah,
would still expect that we'll make some mistakes, and I
yeah,
think
true.
that, but we're also going to gain that experience
Experience,
over time, right? So,
that painful
like the YouTuber,
experience of losing thousands of dollars.
I think it's part of the game because I think
I
even
have
the
a
people
cold.
who are doing, oh, Apple,
I have a cold
oh, you have gone.
from all the losses.
Hey, man, you're just temporarily down, brother.
Yeah, true, true.
You will rise again from the dead.
We shall
Yeah,
rise.
yeah. You shall
I'll
rise
be
and you shall
back.
cross into the green territory. Don't forget to collect profits, bro.
I mean, that's been my latest problem. I'm looking
That's
at
my
some
specialty.
10%, 20% gains, and I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
man, give me some more.
So, like the one specific YouTuber you're talking about, right? He used to be an analyst himself, so he knows what he's doing. His information is correct, and I think that he's just made the choice to monetize his skills
Hmm.
for himself versus working for a company,
Hmm.
right? So for him, it's like I've kind of done some research on him. I know he's legit. I know that if he's saying something, it is more straightforward compared to,
The
you know,
pumpers.
um, yeah, say people on the mainstream media.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Jim Cramer, man, but I don't want to make Jim Cramer the punching bag, man. He seems like a nice guy.
You even making him more
He seems
famous, man. Just let him be.
sometimes it's like when his stocks are losing, his eyeball is twitching. Sometimes I can tell he's pissed. Sometimes he comes in and he's like, Have you seen when he was mad at Kathy Woods? He could
Sorry,
not
like
believe it.
really.
He said the
Folks
worst
should
thing
leave.
ever. He said, "How did this woman?" He said, "How did this woman become what we do for a living?"
Folks should leave her alone.
Ark has been outperforming most funds for a couple of years now. I believe it is. Especially with with things like Tesla, they've been absolutely crushing it. So
We've already had this conversation
what is that?
about her, right? Old
Right?
money, old infrastructure, you know, roots
Mm,
in the ground, innovation. Let's change the world for the better. She is in
mm.
it for the better future, but the rooted old school, how do I call it? Classic,
The people who don't want change, the people who are currently worried about change, scared of change.
yeah, change is not easy. Change does not come easy at
Yeah.
all. And it's difficult for you to accept that you need to transition. You
Yeah.
know, it's
I
just
mean, it is
talking
what it
about
is, and
genomics.
it sucks because it feels like it has to be this battle between people who are trying to move into the future, and the old school, the old school mindset people, right? And it's like, yeah, everyone is just trying to, well, we'll say everyone's just trying to make some money, but we know it's
It
a bit
was
more
like
than that
that.
for these guys. Yeah,
It was like that in the 70s too, when you had to transition,
yeah,
from steel, to aluminum, and start using for looking for
yeah,
other, you know, switching from manufacturing to service-oriented economy in the 80s and 90s. That was that big pushback and
yeah,
forth. And then we then had a
yeah.
big tech boom, the pushback against tech too back then, but eventually tech wins. So it's going to happen.
This
I
is
think
true.
that's what we're going through now is that transition is taking a
We're
while
def-
and they're fighting
we're definitely
back.
going through a yeah, we're definitely going through a massive shift. I think it's a massive shift in society, a
Mhm.
massive shift in the way that we operate as individuals, or interact with technology as
Yeah.
individuals. And there's just things that I mean, some things that are just going to get hit heavily, like right now, and it's just getting hit because of, I mean, that retaliation. I mean, there's also the idea of inflation, which is also in the mix. So it's just a host of different things. So I guess we're having this conversation uh, without that in the mix, right? Because that is a whole different thing by itself.
I mentioned this the other day. There have always
Uh-huh.
been inflation. Inflation is not going away. The house
Well,
that you
true. I
live in
understand that.
now, you know, was
I
what
understand that.
$7,000 30 years ago. Now you can't even buy it
I under-
for.
no, I absolutely agree with that. But I think we also have to take into consideration the factors that have kind of jumped into the mix ever since the Rona happened. All the money printing, um,
I would
and
say that
people not spending that money. What do you think happens? And like we spoke about this the other day too. When when everyone gets out there and they start spending that money, what happens?
we're saying money printing again. This is goes back to where are we getting our information from? Do you know how much money printing we did during the last presidency?
You mean during
Before COVID,
after the pandemic,
before the pandemic, and during the
right?
pandemic, and after, before this current presidency. So let's not use money printing as an excuse.
Well, let me roll back here a little bit. I think I'm not I'm not I'm not necessarily attaching the money printing to a presidency, right? Because whether it was printed by the previous president or the current one, it's been printed, right?
Do you,
And now we're at this point where we have, I think it was like one third or so of all the money we have being printed in the last year.
do you actually
That
know
has to
that
has
this
an effect on the economy.
Do you actually know that this money is actually not being printed, physically being printed? It's just a
Yeah, it's
thousand
not being
digital
physically
number
printed. It's just
now,
being. Isn't that
virtually
crazy?
created. Let's not go into BTC now because
Right.
it's about to switch topic real quick.
Oh, dude, I was getting
So,
to BTC because I think I am so excited for that.
so there are just too many
Right.
variables as to what's going on in the market, especially at this time. But the reality, though, is that no matter where you get the information from, there are multiple sources. But money
Right.
printing, yes, it's getting a lot more because of the current pandemic. But the reality, though, is that in business, and I learned this during my chief information officer training, is that
Right.
you don't say because of things are not going well now that you shut business down. Actually, that is when you have to improve processes and move money toward what's going to work and bring you back more money, right? So you
Absolutely.
cannot shut down the
Yep.
government and not spend money because you actually need to spend money to make money. That's why it's a currency,
Right.
right? So if you put the money into the market, right, it's going to create jobs. People are going to work. It's
Right.
going to create more innovation, maybe create new businesses, and boom! Before you know it, we got tax dollars coming in, right? You have new businesses creating more new money, right? Interest rate is now
Okay.
giving you back more money. We need to spend the money to make
Right.
money. So don't get mad at
I
money
agree with you.
printing because you actually need the money to come in there and fix things and make things better. So I'm not taking the money printing as an argument. That's not gonna work because you need the money. Things are not gonna get better if you don't quote unquote print the money and utilize it. Question
Well,
now is, are people now packing the money away? And that's the problem. Some institutional investors are trying to go pack the money into bonds, into federal government bonds, and put it in there because they can get more return on their funds than putting it in the market. Whereas they're the ones screwing the market up. That's my argument.
well, here's but that's the thing though, and it's kind of we're looking at a correlation between. I guess there is a correlation with the bond market and the stock market, right?
And
And for
interest rates.
institutional investors
Yeah.
and interest rates, and for institutional investors, the game they play is one of making maximum profits while
All
minimizing
the
the
time.
risk as much as possible, right?
That's their
Even
job.
if this means that they're going to manipulate some things, right? From deploying their soldiers like Kramer the Baldy, you know who that is?
You have to go back there again. But guess what? They still make money
Kramer the
when the
Baldy.
market goes down because they just play shots, just like they
Yes,
play shots on
yes.
GME and AMC and all these guys.
No, I agree with you. So like they have all these tactics. It's my whole point was that they have all these tactics that they are able to deploy to make sure that they're winning all the time. So when you're in the market, right, I don't think that you can ignore things that directly affect the market. And this is one of those things, right? Like
Mhm.
say for like right now, for example, you have institutional investors and really a lot of other economists who are concerned by what they're seeing when you print out this much money and roll it out into the economy. What is going to happen next, right? There's concerns of inflation, and I think that it would be logical to see how that
What
can be, how that is going to be, right? Now,
who makes money on the inflations?
because who makes money on it? Whoever is receiving those interest rates on the bonds,
And guess what that is?
institutional investors.
Oh
Who?
yeah,
That isn't. That is institutional investors. I agree. I agree. Um,
it's back in their pocket.
it is back in their pocket. That is a cycle. Wow,
It is a cycle. You are just a pawn in the
man,
game,
this is a moment of.
which is why.
But I think the thing too is just also that it's accepted as it is. Like it's
Yeah, because
accepted as it is.
again,
Like this is the way it's always going to be. Go
The
ahead.
Federal Reserve
Yeah.
is a bank of private corporations. The private corporations are institutional investors.
Yeah.
So they are the same people that print the money, right? Put the money in the market.
Right.
If there's an inflation, they get the interest rates, they get the returns, right? While some of the money is sitting down in bonds. So either way, they make money in the bond market. Either way, they make money if there's inflation. Who suffers at the end of the day?
Mhm.
Retail investors and folks like you and I that just work 9 to 5. If the market crashes and you don't have a job, you're screwed.
For
The
that.
federal government just create policies and try to control them.
Yeah. I was just gonna add in there. This is why the ninja exists, so you can be in and out.
Boom. But guess what? They try to control that as well because now they say you must have $25,000 to be able to day trade.
Right.
Most Americans don't have $25,000. We could have been majoring, man. We could have been playing puts every day. We could have been, getting in, getting out every day. But, we're still, we're going to
Well.
be there pretty
Well.
soon with
Well.
our trading account.
Right. Well. Let me slow you down there real quick though, because I think that it is a bit over simplistic to just say we could be getting in, getting out. Some of your trades are going to lose, right?
Price action, bro. We
And
have
when
this.
you
We have
when
the AI tools that
we,
are telling us.
no, 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 no. I get it. I get it. This is not just when I say this is not just us, right? And and I think we obviously we can only get better at it. I think you also have to look at the side that someone who does not have 25K to do this kind of thing with, do they really have the money to be risking on any level? Let's say you have $1,000, you get into a ninja early in the morning, and the trade just goes the wrong way. Now what? You see what I
You're
mean?
screwed.
You wake up the next day and do it again, then wake up the next day and do it again. There has to be something to protect you from yourself. And I agree with that. This is why there is the
Do you want to know the answer to
3 day
that?
trade situation. What is the answer? There is a solution around it, though. There's
When
a
you still
solution around it. Cash accounts, but go ahead.
you have to, number one, invest in the tool. Invest in the tools, invest in time and
Mhm.
understanding that a tiny little news could literally turn your trade around. So again,
Right.
get your get your information from the right sources, pre-markets, after markets, during the markets, stay connected to the markets. Don't go crazy because hey, you're doing this to get some freedom for yourself and your family. So don't just be all up in the
Mhm.
market all the time. But the tool is invest in knowledge, sources, tools, and I think sometimes it makes sense to be an investor at the early stage. You know, time in the markets
I think
gives
it, yeah,
you
absolutely.
that
Always makes
win a lot
sense.
of times,
That
right?
always makes sense for sure.
And you knew
Yeah.
we were doing weeklies at one point to the point that we were making thousands in the week. But guess what? We lost all
Yeah.
those
Those were the
thousands
days, man.
when the market turned on us,
Yeah.
right? So we
That
stopped
also
doing
happened.
weeklies,
Yeah.
right, for our swings. And now we're playing that timeout 3 months, 4 months swings and taking profits as time goes, right? That is another solution. But we played some
Right.
3, 4 months market ones and we didn't come out of our profits on time before February, March screwed us over with the expiration dates.
This is why I
So
say this
it's
is why
not
I say always collect profits, man. Right. But then again, it's like
no matter how small, right?
How do you
$10,
know?
$20, $50.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm trying to take like
Well,
200, five
you
hundred
have your
dollars, man.
target. I think, hey man, I think pick your number, man. If it does not ever make it to your number, then maybe you should pick a different number.
It's
You
true.
know? But
Yeah, you're true. You're right.
yeah, I think when you, because here's the thing, when it comes to technical analysis, I know that our technical analysis are pretty good. You know what I mean? We may not be the
Hmm.
strongest in the world, but we're there. You know what I mean? We can float. We are floating.
Yeah.
You know, and
Hmm.
at the same time, there's also these other things that can always happen, right? You get into a trade, maybe it might be a, news that comes out about that company, and all of a sudden your trade is going the wrong way. It is what it is. We have to accept it for what
CCIV.
it is. But
Yep.
bro, that one caught me off guard. The interesting thing is, I was in a
It's
trade on
business.
that one, which was in the loss for so long that when it finally came into the profits, I was pissed, and I was like, "Hey, I'm out, I'm out," and I got out of it, and I just, for some reason, I just never got back into it. So I left with a
Mm.
profit. Sorry, you're
Feeling
still
me up
holding
like
the
crazy
bag on
right
that
now.
one, man. Yeah, man.
Yo,
So
badly.
what is the news with them at this point anyway? 'Cause I know Lordstown was also down. Apparently, they didn't have a
Oh
truck
man,
even.
that's another company I believed in. The guy lied. See, this goes back to when
Yeah,
you invest. Goes back to who you listen to. You literally have to listen to the company's leadership. But when the company's leadership
bro.
is dishonest,
Exactly. Who
then
can
you
you listen to?
then you effed again. That is the question. Who do you listen to? You know, like
Yeah.
if
Who
you're
can you
doing
really
your
listen to, man?
like okay, you say you want to do your fundamental research. Fundamental research
Yeah.
requires that you trust the information that the company is giving you. Last time CCIV, if you were doing your fundamental, you will have probably invested in them. But guess what happened?
True.
I'm losing on that one too, by the way.
Yeah.
Got in my ass. Excuse my French. Oh, bad.
Oh, crap, dude.
Life lessons.
I just
But
remembered I actually have some ride. Um, I should just
uh-oh.
remember I actually have some ride in Ally, which I had totally forgotten about it.
Is it
Wow.
is it the call? Or is it actually a regular stock? Because if it's the stock, just hold on to
No,
it.
it was just some stocks, but I think I bought it at a pretty high point back in the days.
Yeah, I think that's deep
So
back, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's going
I
to
have some
garbage.
calls
Yeah.
expiring soon. I'm screwed.
Hey, on the bright side, you learn how
It's
to roll a call.
$320 worth of calls. Yeah, that's another question. What do you listen to? Do you
You
roll a
could roll
call?
it.
Or do you just take your losses and move on?
Exactly. So
I
I
rolled.
think I think
I
at
spent
the
a
end
couple
of
of thousand
this,
dollars to roll some.
I think there is times when if
Yeah,
everything is still looking good, right? I think it's totally worth
yeah,
it to roll the call. Um, I
yeah.
think when it comes to who do you listen to? Here's my take on it. When you do your research and it turns out that someone was also lying to you in the research, what do you do then?
Oh
Right?
man, you're
This
screwed.
now leaves us with going with safe companies, I guess. Companies that have a strong track record, right? But the thing is, for some of those companies that have this long track record, I don't see many of them continuously growing into the future. I don't see many of them continuously being aggressively profitable into the future.
They are not being innovative, which is why I like ARC. They're investing in all
Yeah.
these new companies that are being innovative and not sitting down with companies
Right.
that are not changing anything. So like
Okay.
business intelligence was the big thing that Salesforce was using back in the day. Question is, are they implementing artificial intelligence now? You know, I don't
Oh, dude,
know
I'm impressed with the
because
way
I
Salesforce
believe in
is
Salesforce so
evolving.
much. They
Yeah.
are, but I'm losing money on the stocks though. Based on fundamentals, I invested a ton lot of money in
No, no,
it,
no, 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 no.
but I'm freaking in the
Bro,
red.
okay. Kenny, take this one from me, man. I've looked at my Salesforce, man. This company is undervalued for sure. Okay. Hang in there, bro. Salesforce is gonna come back and
Dude,
it's gonna come back strong, dude. If
I,
it goes down, add some
I
more. Not
have,
to the level of PLTR. I don't have that much faith in it, but
I don't have the stocks. I have call options that will be
oh, you have call options
expiring
on.
soon, and CRM is
Ooh,
BSing me right now
yeah, it's been building that base for a very long time. I would say that. I think
for a
it's
long
been
time. It's been
building that
sideways
base
for quite
almost
a
for a
while.
year,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, can they get,
yeah.
CRM needs to get it together, man. He needs to get it together, you know.
They need to.
But
They
hey,
need
I
to
think,
big time.
however, I think even Kathy would agree with on that one. That he's been building this base and looking at the things that they're working on for the future. They also acquired Slack, and they're going to be competing kind of to be a rival to Microsoft Teams. So I think that that's going to be good for
I
the
think
company
Slack is slacking.
for sure.
I think Slack is slacking.
Slacking, absolutely, yeah. But what to listen to? I think that you should not listen to anyone but yourself. Well, you should listen to people that you trust. You should listen to people that have that track record of sticking to their word, right? Um, you can always do further research to just support the ideas of what you want to do. But at the end of the day, there is risk in everything you do, right? Um,
Yep.
you could
Doing the
build
markets, man.
a massive, yeah, you could build a bridge, and it applies to anything in life, right? Everything could be what you expected it to be, and something can always throw it off. But that is that
Hmm.
unknown. You always have to take that risk um, to see what happens on the other side of it. On the other
You know
side,
what?
and we're not going to go very deep into
You go
this.
ahead.
I was going to say on the other side, and we're not going to go too deep into this before we wrap up the podcast
Yeah.
here. There is cryptocurrency and NFTs
Oh, I know you were
coming
gonna
on,
go
which
into
I'm doing
that.
so
I know
much.
you were gonna go into that.
Dude, I'm doing so much reading on that right now. I'm doing so much reading on that right now because I think this thing is about to take Slim Kramer and put him in the trash can, dude. And it's going to be absolutely
S-
beautiful. I want to be there for it.
You know what? I was thinking of
Go
NFTs
on.
this afternoon when I was reading more on
Mm-hmm.
it. You know how you build a website or
What
you
was it?
take a picture and you put the picture online, and then someone takes that picture and does whatever they want to do with it. I'm like, are
Yeah,
people actually thinking of this? You can literally turn every content, digital, like
into an
pictures,
NFT,
videos, into an NFT. You can
right?
track your own content. Somebody else uses it, they gotta pay you. You can build an entire
Yeah,
website
and
off
you
of
can make
NFTs.
royalties on your
And someone takes
creations
a
as well.
picture. This is gonna be great for artists. You gotta go back and become an artist, man, Shay, and just make a whole ton of money
Hey
on
man,
NFTs.
mm. Yeah, the artist is just sitting in the background, man. I can come out at any time. Yeah. All I need is my hat and my paintbrush.
Oh
Just rip you
man.
guys with some of my finest work. Except that this time around, I'm actually going to make money from it before I die. Maybe this is why I did not, fully pursue my artistry career, man. Because those guys don't make money until they're dead, and then other people make money off buying
Most
and
of them.
selling their stuff. Yes. So I was like, listen,
Yeah.
if I'm not going to see the money from this painting right now, I'm not painting it. But I think NFTs are definitely NFTs are going to change that, dude. I really believe that. And I think that having that decentralized operation is just it's so good. Okay. And I feel like fundamentals, no, technical analysis on that will work most of the time, right? Nothing is 100%,
Mhm.
but it will work at a better rate. And so I'm sharpening up on my chart reading and trying to, well, we have AI software for that. But I will say this though, I miss drawing the lines and things like that, man. It was fun,
Oh, drawing the trend lines
you
and all
know?
that good stuff,
Well,
and and the
yeah, exactly.
Fibonacci
So I do it
extensions.
on some chats. Fibonacci retracements and extensions. I miss doing it. I still do it sometimes. I do not enjoy counting those candles though. That was tedious for sure.
But we had
You
we
know?
had so many symbols to go through, and that just was not gonna make it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
never good. But
I
I
have to
think that
say
that
though.
helped us accelerate our process though. With to get to where we are now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have to say though, another tool. I'm gonna go back to your last topic before this topic. Another tool is diversification,
Hmm.
because I think I took a major risk because my portfolio was lots of ETFs and a good distribution between
Right.
value stocks and tech stocks. But
Yeah.
with my most recent readings, sometimes you have to go
Hmm.
with your most high conviction stocks. And I did that by
Yeah.
switching to Tesla, ARC, PLTR, and all that stuff. And man, I've been getting some serious ball whooping. But apparently, that is what you have to go through to make it big. So hopefully, this major risk plays out. So in terms of listening to
I mean, it's
people,
part of the game.
I've listened to some folks and I'm taking the risk right now. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, listen, man. They said the only other option is to sit back one day and said, I wish I had, or I could have
Yeah.
done this or that.
Yeah.
He can go anyway, but I'll tell you one thing: he's not gonna go to zero. So,
I don't have stocks. I have options. I have a
oh,
lot
that will
of
go to zero.
options.
Do you not have stocks anymore? Then? What the hell?
I
Oh
told you,
my
man. I
god!
changed up. I changed up my strategy, man. I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do like the big boys. So I have a lot of options.
That is, yeah. Yeah, I still
Some
have
of my
stocks.
high
Kenny.
conviction stocks.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. I mean, dude, here's the thing. But they're most of them are almost all of them are a lot of them are lead calls, right?
Yeah, yeah, they have
So
calls.
we gave it at yeah. For that, I'm very confident that it's going to recover. Um,
It's America, baby.
some of the things
It's
that are
coming
happening
back.
right now, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's temporary. The market kind of always oscillates. There's always the downs and the ups. So, well, I think we just wanted to have a chit chat about the market today, man. That was beautiful. Kenny, you're gonna
Yes,
add
sir.
something. Go ahead.
Surround yourself with good people, man. Come and check us out here at Yes. We are good peoples. We're not going to lie to you.
Yes, sir.
We don't have all the answers, but
Yes,
hey, we can talk about
we don't
what's going on and maybe direct you in the right way. That's what we're here for.
exactly. I think the beautiful thing is just being able to just talk about these things with anyone, just based on our research and understanding of what we see in the markets,
Hmm.
right? Because a lot of times, I watch the news as well, and these guys are just throwing these massive terms around, and I just have to go research it and learn more about it. And as you start rolling into it, you start realizing that these guys with their suits and everything are not that far ahead as you think.
Yeah.
They have more money than all of us, yes, but when it comes to the education and these things, they're not that far ahead. I think GameStop should be a good example of that, right? They got kicked in the face, and they got kicked in the face really hard.
They
So
might use all the technical
there is that.
terms, but that's because of their years and years of experience. But you can go read the same thing
Yeah,
and get the knowledge and the basic knowledge of it and be like, okay, it's not that difficult. This is the
exactly.
the different variables
Yeah,
that you have to look at when you make a decision. So yeah, you don't have to
absolutely.
trust everything
It's
that you
it's
hear on
it's not.
TV.
It's easy, but it's not a walk in the park.
I mean, you
It's
gotta spend
there's
eight
a lot
months
more
like us
that
last year.
goes behind it. And that's the thing. It's about the education. When you educate yourself on anything that you want to do, you definitely become a
Better
lot
at
better
it.
at it.
That's how you
If
become a
you
professional.
spend a little bit of time every day,
Yeah.
yeah, that is how you become a professional. I like that. Yeah, they spend a little bit of time on it every day, and you'll be able to run with the best of them, man. So until next time, catch us on the interwebs at Yas Podcast Official on Instagram, Facebook, Young and Successful, and please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any topics you would like us to talk about, drop it in the comment section, and we'll chit chat about it next time as well. We have some very exciting interviews coming up as well.
Yeah.
Um, we can't wait to have this uploaded as well. Until next time, check out.
Double O. Out.